We're Faces. It's an AT&T group.
Like
yeah,
the
ERG.
telephone company.
Yeah, the telephone company. And what we do is we're an employee resource group that we actually initiate in working with the community. And so our initiative right now that we're working with is the homeless.
Yeah.
And so we have participants that we're working with to engage them to go back into the community. And so so that they can get a career instead of a job. So that's our main function, and we also work with the children that are homeless and all that, with Family Gateway. So one of the things that we wanted to do was kind of personalize this interview because of your history, your background. So one of the first questions that I wanted to ask you is, can you tell us about your life journey for you?
Before journey or
No,
the
your
life
life
before?
No, your life before everything started.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's long. That'll take us
Well, you could just,
that'll
shorten
take
it.
us like 30 years something. Of course, it was basically it was full of music. It was no matter how hard the life was, during my childhood, because we have less when it comes to material. We have less when it comes to food, or we have less when it comes to toys. But I managed to get by me and my family because of music. It was like it was the like the center, the core of how we get together. And then every time a song comes on the radio, we all sing together with my mom and my dad. And while they're tailors, so while they're doing their job at home, so I sing with them. So that was pretty much. I actually had a very happy childhood, even though like I said, even though we have less from things, we have. So that was it. I mean, and until my mom died at the age of 35, and then we had to separate because we lost our home. We lost our money. We had to sell all of our things because we have to support her hospital bills. So we have. After that, we really have to separate. I was on my own. My dad took my two other siblings, to live with him, and then my other brother too. He went on his own too. So it took. I was 14. It took almost a year before I was able to see them. So I was on the street for almost a year until I auditioned to this band, and then they took me in as a was that understudy. So it took me like 3 months before they made me a regular member of the band. So it was 35 pesos a night gig. Thrice a week, so. And so the first time after a year that I saw my dad was when he was trying to when he found out that I'm already a singer for the band. So he went to this place called Cubao in Quezon City. He went there to borrow money because they haven't eaten for like 3 days. So it was that sort of life, for us. Mm-hmm. So the money that I save for a new shirt, because I have nothing but old shirt, given to me by our band leader, those oversized shirt, oversized shoes, oversized pants that I had to to cut it so it will turn into something that looks fit on me, So that was it. And then I went on, I soldiered on to be a singer since then, so I've been singing now for like 36 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Non-stop. The longest time that I stopped from singing is because when I lost my voice because of acid reflux and lots of abuse from drugs and alcohol. I think it took me like 4 months before I was able to recover my voice.
Right.
So that was the longest. But other than that, it was like I kept on singing, especially when I was in Hong Kong. I got based there for like 10 years, so we had to sing from 7 o'clock in the evening until 4 o'clock in the morning, from Monday till Saturday. So that was the life for me. So
Wow.
until
Interesting.
now. So until Neil found me, after losing my voice for 3 times. Yeah, for 3 times, then he found me.
It's perfect timing.
Yeah, yeah, and then you know the song, those songs from Journey. I haven't sang it for a long time, very long time. The last before he found me, I sang those Journey songs like just back in the 80s. The last time I sang it, and then after that, you know, because you know you're young, you're stupid, you know, like I was just the kind of human being that you know would go out and drink and you know have sex with, you know, like a lot of things I did, you know, when I was young. So I forgot to sing the way I used to sing, you know, back in the 80s. Like I was singing, just, you know, like went low and, you know, my voice just like got bigger and then it became limited and then and until I found my place again with my voice and then I was able to pull off a few Journey songs that he saw on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Interesting. So,
So pretty much, I told you, it's like, it was almost 6 questions there. Right.
pretty much, you pretty much did. The next question actually was what made you go into music, but you kind of answered that. So I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you, at what moment did you realize I'm a musician? Because I know I watched some of your YouTube videos about your life, and you used to have to sing. Your father made you sing. So at what point did you say, I'm a musician, I'm a star?
No, until now, I don't consider myself a musician or something. It's more of this thing that I do. I just love to do it. It's passion. You know, at the age of 5, I discovered that I can sing. So I just went on and went on and went on, and you know, until you know, I found a band that you know that would how do you say that that would heal my my talent, and so from then on, I just consider myself, you know, just a singer, you know, like you know, a passionate singer. But yeah, it didn't occur to me that you know,
Yeah.
I can consider myself a musician.
Right.
I will remember that now. No, really, it's like you know. But I love writing poems, and I love turning it into song. You know, in fact, that song that you heard a while ago, you know, the song "Wrong." It was about this roommate of mine, you know, was like nonstop back in Hong Kong. They would fight every night. Them, you know, him and his wife, you know, fight every night, break all those plates and you know and all those cooking wares they have there, you know, every night. So if you listen carefully to the lyrics, it's about them. It's a true story. Yeah. So that sort of you know moment.
What was the most important lesson that you've learned overcoming all your previous circumstances? What do you think was the most
I
important
wish,
lesson?
you know, it's hard. If I could take it back, I would have preferred my mom to have not died, you know, because of that I was crazy on drugs. I was crazy on alcohol. I chose the wrong friends, you know. But if only my mom was there, I would have been, you know, I would have started. I would have had a great start. But it was like it took me a long time. You know, I have to figure out all to myself. You know, I have nobody to lean on to. You know, to ask. You know, like what's really right and what's wrong. You know, so. It was like that. So, but I learned, you know, I guess everything happened for a reason. I mean, I guess God taught me that somehow my mom would need for her to just look down on me, you know, from somewhere, and you know, me be on my own, and you know, like I said, soldier on, and you know, to man up, and you know, and own my mistakes as well as much as own my success and my achievements.
How we doing in there?
Awesome. So, kind of touching on what Diana just asked you, for our preparing for success participants, what advice would you give them as far as when they're down, picking themselves back up? It seems like you went through some things and you were able to kind of pick yourself back up and get back going. So
Well, you know, I believe that God made us equal. You know, I mean, He created us equally, so we all have talent. So I think we should lean on that. You know, we should try to discover that kind of talent, or if we already know that, we should cultivate that when you're down, and because that's what I did. You know, I mean, I've been down so many times, and it's always music. It's always my passion. It's always my talent that I can always count on. I have my best friend. You know, I mean, even though he's my best friend, he cannot always be with you. You know, I mean, but the one thing that would always be with you, will always be with you, is your talent in yourself. So you just have to be, you know, be positive and be, you know, brave to face all these challenges in life, because it's normal. It's part of life. It's much as a curse as same as a blessing to us. You know, what's been happening. So you just have to be really smart and to know that, you know, that you're not alone and you have yourself.
Well, we want to thank you for
No, thank you very much.
for allowing us and sending those inspirational messages for our participants and also to everyone that's in this room. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Gotta get on. Gotta face the people.